Imagine this. Picture yourself in a situation that feels all too familiar. You walk into a crowded room. It could be a party, a conference, or even a casual gathering. All eyes are on you. You can feel the weight of their gazes, as if a spotlight has been turned on you. You feel your cheeks flush, your palms sweat. Your heart races as you become acutely aware of every movement you make. You're convinced everyone is judging your every move. Every glance, every whisper seems directed at you. We've all been there, right? That moment of intense self-awareness where it feels like the world is watching. That feeling of self-consciousness, of being on stage, is something most of us know all too well. It's almost as if we're performing even when we're just being ourselves. This common experience is rooted in a psychological phenomenon known as the spotlight effect. It's a term coined by psychologists to describe this heightened sense of self-awareness. It's the belief that others are paying far more attention to us than they actually are. We imagine that our every action is under scrutiny. We tend to overestimate how much people notice our appearance, our actions, and even our mistakes. A small trip or a minor error feels monumental. This isn't just a harmless quirk. The spotlight effect can have a real impact on our lives. It can make social interactions stressful and overwhelming. It can fuel social anxiety, hold us back from pursuing our goals, and even affect our relationships. We might hesitate to speak up, join a group, or express our true feelings. But the good news is, once we understand this bias, we can start to overcome it. Recognizing that others are not as focused on us as we think can be liberating. Techniques like mindfulness, self-compassion, and cognitive restructuring can help us shift our perspective. We can learn to be kinder to ourselves and reduce the power of the spotlight effect. By doing so, we can engage more confidently in social settings, pursue our goals without fear, and build stronger, more authentic relationships. The spotlight effect doesn't have to control us. So the next time you feel that familiar rush of self-consciousness, remember, the spotlight is not as bright as it seems. You have the power to dim it and shine in your own way. The term spotlight effect was coined in 1999 by psychologists Thomas Gilovich and Kenneth Savitsky. They were intrigued by how people perceive themselves in social situations. In a series of clever experiments, they demonstrated just how powerful this bias can be. Their work shed light on the human tendency to overestimate the degree to which our actions and appearance are noticed by others. In one particularly memorable study, participants were asked to wear an embarrassing t-shirt featuring a large image of Barry Manilow. This was chosen because it was something most people would find awkward to wear in public. They then had to enter a room full of their peers. The idea was to see how much attention they thought they would attract. The participants predicted that nearly half of the people in the room would notice and remember the embarrassing shirt. They felt as though all eyes would be on them, scrutinizing their choice of attire. However, when asked later, only about 25% of the observers actually recalled what was on the shirt. This was a significant difference from what the participants had anticipated. This experiment, along with others, provided concrete evidence that we significantly overestimate the extent to which our actions and appearance are noticed by others. The data clearly showed a gap between perception and reality. We're like actors who believe the entire world is their stage, constantly under the spotlight and being judged for every move we make, when in reality, the audience is often preoccupied with their own scripts. People are usually more focused on their own lives and concerns, rather than paying close attention to others. This phenomenon is not just limited to wearing embarrassing clothing, it extends to many aspects of our daily lives. Whether it's a minor slip-up at work, a social faux pas, or even a bad hair day, we tend to think others are far more aware of our mistakes and imperfections than they actually are. Understanding the spotlight effect can be liberating. It allows us to realize that we are not the center of everyone else's universe. This can reduce anxiety and help us navigate social situations with more confidence and ease. So next time you find yourself worrying about what others think, remember the spotlight effect. Chances are they're too busy worrying about their own spotlight to notice yours. Why do we fall prey to the spotlight effect? One reason is our egocentric bias. We are at the center of our own universe. We experience our thoughts and feelings firsthand, making them feel incredibly salient and important. It's natural then to assume that others are also paying close attention to what's going on in our heads. We project our own self-awareness onto others, assuming they share our focus. Another factor is our desire to belong. Humans are social creatures, hardwired to seek connection and acceptance from others. This desire to fit in can make us hypersensitive to social cues, leading us to overestimate the significance of others' reactions to us. The spotlight effect isn't limited to embarrassing t-shirts and crowded rooms. It pops up in countless everyday situations. Ever have a bad hair day and feel like everyone is staring at your unruly mane? Or spill coffee on yourself and imagine everyone is judging your clumsiness? That's the spotlight effect in action. It can make us self-conscious about our clothes, our body language, even our opinions. We might avoid speaking up in meetings for fear of sounding foolish or hesitate to dance at a party because we're convinced everyone will be watching our every move. The spotlight effect can keep us small and hesitant, preventing us from fully engaging in life. Section 5. The impact on confidence and social anxiety. The spotlight effect can have a significant impact on our self-esteem and social well-being. When we constantly feel like we're being judged, it's easy to become self-critical and insecure. This can lead to social anxiety, a common psychological disorder characterized by intense fear and discomfort in social situations. People with social anxiety often avoid social interaction altogether, fearing negative judgment or scrutiny from others. The spotlight effect can also affect our decision-making. We might avoid taking risks or pursuing new opportunities out of fear of failure or embarrassment. This can prevent us from reaching our full potential and living a fulfilling life. Section 6. Strategies for dimming the spotlight. The good news is that the spotlight effect is a cognitive bias, not an immutable truth. This means that it is a mental shortcut our brains take, often leading us to believe that others are paying more attention to us than they actually are. Just like any habit, it can be challenged and overcome with awareness and effort. By recognizing this bias, we can start to take steps to reduce its impact on our lives. Here are a few strategies to help dim the spotlight. These strategies are designed to help you shift your focus and reduce the anxiety that comes with feeling like you're constantly being watched. Number 1. Challenge your assumptions. This involves taking a critical look at the thoughts that fuel your self-consciousness. The next time you feel the spotlight burning, take a step back and question your thoughts. Are you really the center of attention, or is it just your mind playing tricks on you? Ask yourself, what evidence do I have that everyone is actually paying attention to me? Often you'll find that there is little to no evidence supporting this belief. Chances are you'll find that your assumptions are based more on fear than reality. Recognizing this can be incredibly liberating and can help you to start letting go of unnecessary worries. Number 2, focus on others. Shifting your attention away from yourself can be a powerful way to reduce self-consciousness. One of the best ways to combat self-consciousness is to shift your focus outward. When you engage with others, you are less likely to be preoccupied with how you are being perceived. Instead of worrying about how you're being perceived, try to genuinely engage with the people around you. This not only helps to take the focus off yourself, but also enriches your interactions. Ask questions, listen actively, and show interest in their lives. This can create a more meaningful connection and help you to feel more at ease. Number 3, practice self-compassion. We all make mistakes, have bad hair days, and experience moments of awkwardness. These moments are a natural part of life and do not define our worth. It's part of being human. Embracing our imperfections can help us to be more forgiving of ourselves and reduce the pressure we feel to be perfect. Instead of beating yourself up, treat yourself with the same kindness and understanding you would offer a friend. Remember, self-compassion is not about letting yourself off the hook, but about recognizing that everyone has flaws and that it's okay to be imperfect. Incorporating mindfulness practices can also be beneficial. Mindfulness helps you to stay present and reduces the tendency to ruminate on past mistakes or worry about future judgments. By staying grounded in the present moment, you can reduce the impact of the spotlight effect and feel more at peace with yourself. Remember, overcoming the spotlight effect is a journey. Celebrate your progress, no matter how small, and continue to practice these strategies. Over time, you'll find that the spotlight dims, and you can live more freely and authentically. Section 7. You are not the center of the universe. Here's a liberating thought. You are not the center of the universe. As much as our egos might like to believe otherwise, The truth is that most people are far too preoccupied with their own lives to spend much time thinking about us. They're dealing with their own insecurities, anxieties, and to-do lists. Your spilled coffee or awkward comment is likely to be forgotten as quickly as it happened. This realization can be incredibly freeing. It allows us to step out of our heads and engage with the world more authentically. We can worry less about what others think and focus more on what truly matters to us. Section 8. The power of perspective. Another helpful strategy is to gain perspective. Think about a time when you witnessed someone else making a mistake or having an embarrassing moment. Did you judge them harshly? Did you dwell on their misstep for hours on end? Probably not. Chances are you felt a moment of empathy, maybe even amusement, and then moved on with your day. The same is likely true of how others perceive our own blunders. Section 9. Free yourself from the spotlight. The spotlight effect is a common human experience, but it doesn't have to rule our lives. By understanding the psychology behind this bias, challenging our assumptions, and practicing self-compassion, we can free ourselves from the tyranny of the spotlight. We can learn to embrace our imperfections, take risks, and live more authentically. Remember, the world is not a stage, and you are not constantly under scrutiny. Step out of the spotlight and into the fullness of your own life.